Let's now take a look at the example of two hosts on the same network communicating with each other. Now, in this case, we've got the host on the right talking to the host on the left. We have IP addresses of 10.5.5.3 and 5.5.60 on these two devices. And then we have the MAC addresses shown here on the screen. What we're going to do is have an application, and it doesn't really matter what the application is. Let's just assume it's HTTP traffic, but it doesn't really matter here because we're going to focus on the transport layer, layer 3, and layer 2 interactions between these devices. Assuming, of course, we're doing MAC address stuff, so it's Ethernet, and it's the TCP/IP stack. So fair enough. All right. So our application comes up and says, I would like to talk to 10.5.5.60. We need to set up a reliable connection between the two. So from a transport session, we've decided if it's reliable, we need to use TCP. So we're going to negotiate a TCP session over to the other side. So to create a three-step, three-way handshake within TCP, we're going to send a SYN request over to the other end. So we start the process of doing a TCP SYN request. We now have the layer 4 header complete. We now have to create a layer 3 header. So the next slide, what we see is the beginning of the layer 3 header. We've got a source IP address of ourselves and a destination IP address of the other side. The IP header is pretty straightforward since we have the address of the other side. If this was a case of me doing name resolution, if I had the name of the other side, I might not be able to create this layer 3 packet. I'd have to use a protocol like DNS to send a message over to a DNS server to figure out what the actual IP address is of the destination. But in this case, the application had the destination IP address. Maybe the user, instead of knowing this device by name, knew it by number, knew it by IP address. So we didn't have to go through the process here of doing DNS. All right, so we have the IP packet created. Now we have to go down to layer 2. So to build the layer 2 header, I need the source MAC address of myself and the destination MAC address of the other side. Unfortunately, we look at our ARP cache and we realize that there is no resolution for the destination MAC address. We don't know what the destination MAC address is, therefore we can't create the packet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, what we have right now, we've got our layer 4 and layer 3 header, and we're going to park those and hold them in buffer space while ARP resolves. So now we're going to shift over and we'll do ARP. So what we'll do is with the other packet parked, what we're going to do is send an ARP message out. So the ARP message being a broadcast destination with a source of our MAC address, and this is an ARP request. We send this out, and everybody on the wire, of course, in this particular wire, there's only one host, but let's assume this network has 100 different devices. 99 of those devices are going to throw out this message, except for the one device, the 10.5.5.60, that actually has the IP address that we're requesting. So we send this out. Everybody throws it away except for the responding machine that opens it up and looks at it. So on the other side here, on the right-hand side, it looks at it and says, hey, I just got a layer 2 broadcast. It strips off the layer 2 header and looks at the ARP request. And inside the ARP request, it says, oh, wait, that's a response from 10.5.5.3, and they're asking for my IP address. So I need to respond back for my IP address to respond back with my MAC address. So in this case, we create a packet on the left-hand side here, the right-hand side. The right-hand side is going to create a packet saying, here's my MAC address, here's my ARP reply. The destination MAC address is the sending device. The source MAC address is my MAC address. So as this sends back, we're sending this as a unicast message at layer 2 back to the other device so it can create an entry in its ARP cache. All right, so back on the left-hand side machine, the 5.3 machine, we get a response back. It's got my MAC address. We open it up. We see it's an ARP reply. We got the reply. ARP was expecting a reply. So we now can create an entry in the ARP cache that says 10.5.5.60, use this particular MAC address.